Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So I just uploaded this tweet and I think it had to be done because it's shining a lot of light onto WoW as if WoW is a bad game and people are just being mad for no reason. It's more than that. Just read through this and you'll get a whole explanation. And there's like video for context. If you need more, the whole Twitch VODs are uploaded, etc. So check that out. Anyways, why I'm recording this video is because I want to explain some things. It's something to do with people being afraid to speak out, and this has been happening a lot, especially in the politics side, right? A lot of the people are afraid to speak out their voices. I used to be the same. But I had to do this for the WoW community because people are shitting on WoW community for no reason. This isn't about gaming. It's about being a good person and not being dishonest. It's about that. You don't have this stuff going around in work, school, or in sports. You don't do this type of behavior. And what I'm trying to get at is, for example, let's say Quinn and we know each other. And I like Quinn. I think he's a cool dude. Does he say a lot of weird stuff sometimes? And maybe I disagree? Yes. And a lot of people might just side with him, right? Saying, oh, he's my friend. I like him. I'm just going to side with him. It happens a lot. In this case, like Asmongold siding with Pirate, and he's dying on the hill with him.
All right. I like Thor. Let's go ahead and look at his situation. Oh, where are these losers getting mad at Thor from? Nothing Piratesoftware could have possibly done would have changed the outcome of this fight.
Asmon, I love you, bro, but
I respect it. You just like this guy, right? You wanted to do some videos with him. I heard in the past, like he protected you in a cancel situation. Sure. So you want to show some alliance and support him. But if it's wrong, you got to be truthful and say it's wrong, man. And it gets deeper than this. It's like, let's say Quinn did something I didn't like, and I speak about it, and Quinn now threatens me saying, all right, I hope this was worth it. And anytime I would try to collab with others or do sponsors, Quinn would say really bad stuff about me, and I wouldn't get those. Same thing when the politic was happening. That's why I'm mentioning it earlier. When this was going around and people came out to be the left or the right, you start losing sponsors just for having the ability to think and saying the right things you think that are correct. And I'll go over this a little bit more later. But before we move away from the politic things, guys, what are we trying to do at the end of the day? Trying to make the world a better place to live in for our future kids or families, right? Maybe there's more, but let's just simplify it to that. If that's the case, you guys need to fold up whatever sides you're at and look at both results. Don't just be one-sided and close yourself around that and not listen to anything else. Listen to the left, listen to the right, look at what you think is right, look at what you think is wrong, and balance it out. This side might have something good, that side might have something good. It's really good that there is a split, by the way, so that if one side becomes too level-headed or egotistic right now, kind of like Pirate, you have the ability to call them out. But this is where it gets wrong. You guys take sides even though it's wrong. And that's not correct. That's what I'm trying to get at. And just like the politics, it's the same shit on Twitch. If you speak about someone, you burn all the bridges and they just close the gate around you, even though you might say something right. And a lot of people are afraid to speak out because of that shit. How fucked up is that? I want people to not be afraid and speak your mind. Such a weird thing to say, but it's real, guys. It's like stuff like this exists. There's a lot of things I didn't get to say or not say because I would be afraid of getting crushed by another creator. Like this happens a lot. This too. I started with Asmon, listening to other opinion perspective. Like Asmon says a lot of really good things too. And I like Asmon because he's not afraid to speak out. Yes, Asmon bans a few people. And yes, this guy can be arrogant. Yes, he dies on the stupidest hill sometimes. But you gotta respect the man because he doesn't just ban them. He gives them a chance to speak out, even though it might be unfair. Kind of like the Yamato case. You should have called him there, by the way. Like, if I watch Asmon's video, usually I side with him too. However, this is very important here. If Asmon picks sides because he likes someone and tells something untruthful in order to keep a good alliance with someone, you lose trust and credibility by doing that. And why do that? Because you've made so much good content. And I like the enthusiasm of you tackling things you don't know about. But you have to own up to your mistakes if you don't know it. Like, don't pretend like you know it or tell lies to make yourself look good. Kind of like the pirate case. Like, this is an important lesson. You might laugh at this, but it's deep. That's why I made that whole big tweet about it. It's big, it's deep. I want people to understand this. It's an important conversation. You don't do this type of behavior. You understand? Like, I like a lot of people on stream, on YouTube, and I think more streamers and YouTubers or any content creators should be more open to this whole thing about getting criticized. If somebody calls you out and it's correct, you should own up to it. Don't fucking lie and spread rumors like fake shit. You're just being evil and you're confusing your community. It's messed up. They deserve to know the truth, but they're gonna agree with you because most of them are agreeable. They're already following you. They're subscribed, right? But do the right thing. And to close this part out, I don't hate Asmon or Pirate. It's okay if we don't agree with one things. That's totally fine. You don't have to hate someone because you don't agree with one thing. That's such a silly thing to do. If Guzu calls me out and he's like, hey Savix, I don't agree with you on this and that because of these reasons, and if he gives me a good reason, how can I hate him? He's right, and thank you for letting me know. Now I know better. They think it's a bad thing. No, you learn from that failure. And it stings sometimes. It hurts. But through that pain, you grow and achieve better things. Well, most do. And maybe some of you guys are struggling with that. It's fine. It's fine. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Just work slowly towards the better goods. And you'll improve. Don't compare yourself to other people. It's not realistic. Anyways, I'm going off track. But I really wish more people start accepting criticism and taking it. And yes, I know it's hard because streamers, YouTubers, they get criticized about everything almost and get blamed for everything. But this is a good way to start things out. Start being honest so people don't fucking flame us all the time. We get flamed because we have dishonest people or jackasses. And I know people are going to be like, oh, it's just a YouTube video, who cares? No, it's more than that. There's a lot of people watching, there's an audience. So take responsibility and live an honest life. Do the right things that you know that are correct in hopes of others following the same path. And this applies to you guys too, watching, the audience. If people own up to their mistakes, I know some of you guys still might be holding a fist saying, grr, we need to crush him. No. If it's a genuine, sincere apology and you know it is, then learn to forgive. Again, I don't hate any of these individuals. I mentioned about the politics. You don't have to choose a side. Not always. And to close things out, let's talk about the narrative that's being thrown out there. I mentioned it at the start where people think all the World of Warcraft players are terrible. They judge too harshly. Sure, sometimes it could be that case. But does it ever blow up this big? No, because we don't have fucking, excuse my language, but we don't have anyone show up like this with the ego that massive. I mean, go look at the whole tweet. I wrote it in a very descriptive way for a non-WoW player to understand. You don't do that type of behavior. I don't care what you've done in the past. Unexcusable. And all the WoW players that reacted initially, even for myself, they were all careful saying, oh, I really like Pirate, but this side we don't agree with. Most of them said it like that. And like I said, most of the people have different opinions, and that's okay. That could be changed depending on how you give your answer. And right now, the way Pirate's giving his answer, he's just tripling down or quintupling down And anyone who calls him out or tries to tell him, he just writes their name down on the no-no list. Like, he's threatening streamers. Obviously, this is taken down because it's a bad move by him. Why would you say these things? Like, this stuff exists, like I said.
And for all the content creators that were out there trying to cannibalize me to boost their numbers for a little while, that may work for now. But in the future, no one's going to want to do anything with it.
The thing is, he still doesn't get it. That's why there's videos of him continue saying, oh, this guild is full of hate. WoW players hate me for no reason because some people died. It's not about that. It's the behavior you made in there.
With you, other than other people that also want to cannibalize you. You're going to surround yourself with assholes.
No.
That's going to be on you, bud.
No, that's
it's
not
shitty
gonna
for you,
be us.
to be honest with you. And I feel bad for you. Straight up.
I feel bad for you because right now you're blinded by your ego and you ban anyone. You banned like 4,000 people yesterday for saying literally one word. Like, did you think like that gets deleted? Like, any word that questions about this gets deleted. He's literally in a safe space. It's never going to get to him. Anyone that tries to make him come to sense on Twitter, he just blocks. Like, this isn't how you live your life. And continuously slandering World of Warcraft because of your silly ego is a crazy narrative. Like, we don't need to be doing that. This is the lie I'm talking about. If he was honest, none of this would have blown up. And his last tweet, that ain't an apology, guys. I'm sorry. That's not. It's not. It's the reason why we keep getting all these tweets and memes about Piratesoftware, because he's not owning up to this tiny, pathetic thing. And it doesn't help that you're just continuously banning everyone that tries to speak about it. You're just living a false life then in your little bubble. If Pirate ever hears this, I want you to know, if there's 1,000 of people knocking on your door, you might want to rethink, did I really do something? And maybe it's worth a while to listen to what they have to say. A good example is him leaving the call when Yamato speaks 2 times, right? Maybe it's worth listening to that stupid one question. Or an example is a student asking a dumb question. If he's shy not to ask, he'll never know. But if he asks, even if it might look silly, for that minute of asking the question, at least now he learned and he doesn't have to ask that stupid question twice. Everyone knocking on his door right now are trying to make him come to sense. And yes, I'm aware of all the death threats, etc. I mentioned on the tweet, like, none of that he deserves. And I hope it stops, but it's online. And everyone gets death threats online. A lot. Doesn't matter what game you play. It really doesn't. It's unfair to single out World of Warcraft. You play League of Legends, Dota, CSGO, you're gonna hear more awful things. Let's not pretend. Alright? Anyways, I hope you own up to things and speak with Yamato and clear things up. Mr. Pirate, come on. It's time to open the door.
By the way, I don't hate Pirate, and I don't want you guys to hate him. Just kind of over-analyzing this because we're all thinking about it. We're all talking about it. So I'm kind of over-analyzing the tweets and what happened. I think it's interesting. Yeah, I don't hate him. I don't even know him, right? Like, I've never spoken with him.
He obviously messed up in a dungeon, but he's a great streamer. He seems like a really great guy. I don't know him personally. I've never talked to him or anything like that, but he seems like a really cool guy.